Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this pull-up card. They were very popular during the summer, but I never actually got round to making one. And on the 31st of December it's my granddaughter's 15th birthday, and I was looking for something special and I thought, well, I know, I'll do one of these. That always looked so easy. But I didn't find them as easy as I thought it was going to be. I've now made 3 of them all together. This is the only one that I've actually finished decorating, and what I did for the sentiment was I actually put it on the inside there. Okay, so I did that before I did this bit here, and I also decorated the corners with the glimmer paper snowflakes, and the paper is DSB is the Santa's Workshop Designer Series paper. Okay, so that's the only one that I've actually finished with sentiments. The next one I made was this one. Okay, but as I say, not finished yet. I was more concerned in actually mastering how this was done so that I could actually make a video of it, which I have done now, but I will go back and complete this. And the other one I've done is Designer Series paper, Christmas Designer Series paper, but I think this would make a nice one for a wedding. That Designer Series paper with those baubles on it, I think it's absolutely brilliant for a wedding. Hope you can see that. Okay, so they've all been made the same, but the last 2, as I say, haven't been decorated. Right, I will start off by telling you the card pieces that you're going to be needing, and I am going to be using lovely lipstick, and I'm also using a new Designer Series paper that will be available in the Spring Summer catalogue, which goes live on 3rd of January 2019. So what you need is, you need a piece of cardstock that lovely lipstick that measures 4 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches, which is 12 by 12 centimetres, and then a piece of Whisper White Designer Series paper which measures 4 5/8 inches by 4 5/8 inches, which is 11.75 by 11.75, and then you need a piece of Designer Series paper which measures 4 1/2 inches by 4 1/2 inches, which is 11.5 by 11.5 centimetres. And then you need a piece of lovely lipstick which is 6 inches by 9 inches, which is 15.2 by 22.8 centimetres. And then you need 20 pieces of Whisper White which measure 1 3/8 by 1 3/8, which is 3.5 by 3.5 centimetres. And then you need 20 pieces of Designer Series paper which measure 1 1/4 inches by 1 1/4 inches, which is 3.2 by 3.2. And then you will also need 2 circles that are 1 1/4 inches, and you need 1 scallop circle which is 1 3/8 inches. We have punches that will do both of those for you, and we do actually have a retired punch that does that one, which was really convenient. Right, now that is not the 6 inches by 9 inches, I just brought that in to show you. I'm actually going to be using this as a demonstration because I've already prepared 3 of the side pieces. 3 of these. Let's move. Okay, 3 of those I've already prepared on this one. But I do want to show you what I do, how I get the 4 strips first. Right. Oh, let's hope this works. Let's move my drink out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my scoreboard. This is Pink Pirouette, which is one of our retired colours. and I'm using this because if I decide to do another one, I'd be quite happy to use this colour. I think it goes quite nicely with this designer series paper. Get away with that, couldn't I? If it's a personal card, then I don't mind using retired things. I don't mind using them for my practice ones, but when I'm going to be doing this and then discarding it, to me that's just a waste. Right, so what you're going to do with this is you are going to put 5 score lines in here. I will give you the inches first, and then I will give you the centimetres. In fact, let me just go over this with, where's my, oh, it's disappeared. I did have some, oh here it is, wax paper. That just helps my score tool slide over a lot easier. So inches first, yes, on the horizontal side. You want 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 6 inches and 7.5 inches. Centimetres, that is 3.8, 7.6, 11.4, 15.2 and 19 centimetres. All the measurements will be in the box below the video for you. Okay, so that's all we need the scoreboard for. Oh, no, yes, that's right. That's all we need the scoreboard for. And that once you've done this, you need to slice this into 4 pieces, each that are 1.5 inches wide or 3.8 centimetres wide. Okay, so that will give you the side pieces that you need for, there we go, that will give you 4 of these. Right, so you need to fold all 4 of them, and what I do to this one you need to do to all of them. I've already prepared my first 3. Right, so I've got 5 pieces of Whisper White, and what I'm doing with my design is I am using 4 of these, which was from the sheet with this design. Okay, I'm using this one for the other part, like Neat Design Series paper. And on this one, when you look at the actual DSP, I don't think there looks like a right way or wrong way, although sometimes I think, I don't know, maybe. So what I do, because I'm using such a small piece of this design, I am checking to make sure that that particular piece is going in the right direction. Like that one, it's debatable. Should that flower be going up? Should that leaf be? So I'm going to go with that one. And this design, I'm going to do like that. So we've got 5 squares we're going to decorate. So we need 5 of these, and I'm having the small design in between these. Right, so first thing I need to do is I need my silicone mat. Oh, and here's Tombow. Tombow gets really worked well today. Right, so what I'm going to do is make sure I stay in the screen. Yep, I'm going to do 2 at a time. Yep. Okay, so if I pop it on there, then you can see. There we we go, and I must make sure that I keep them in the direction I want them to go. Right, let's do these two. Some of the videos that I've seen have been like 5 minutes long, 8 minutes long, but there has been a lot of fast forwarding going on. A couple of the videos I saw were, I think one of the people was named Craftaholic, not Stamping Up, but I think she did hers in 5 minutes. There we go, and then this last one. There was another one that I saw as well, and she actually made an envelope to go with it, without the aid of a envelope punch board. For my card, I think you just need to have a 5x5 envelope, which you can either make yourself or buy a packet of 5x5. Right, now with this one, what you need is, where you've got it concertinaed, you open it up so you've got the ramp here and you've got a ramp here. Okay, so we're going to adhere starting from the top, so make sure if you've got a design it's got to be facing you the right way, and we're not going to put anything on this last one. I suppose you could probably use a snail with this. But for me, Tombo's the glue of choice for this kind of task. And then the small design. The way that I would decorate this, if I wasn't going to put the sentiment inside like I did with the Santa's workshop one, I would put little sentiments on some of these. And for the wedding one, what I thought was, where you've got the sides like this, if the bride and groom's names were within the 5 letters, you could have, say, Molly and Jack and Molly, so it's just like never ending, which I thought was quite appropriate for marriage, because if it is a wedding card, marriage should go on forever. Just the way my mind goes. There we go. So that's 5 of them done. And you will see that I've done the same all the way. Okay, big designs, a small one across there. Right, so what we need to do next is, I'm going to put them on like this. So we need these 2 first, and oh no, I want that one, don't I? That's right. So I'm going to put glue, Tombow on this, and then I'm going to put it on the white piece. Don't worry about where the lid is while you're got wet glue here. Yep, I think that's right. Right, now what we need to do next is to adhere these on. So we need to know where to put them. So what I recommend you do is, now with mine I have done all the measurements and the sizing, having converted it from the other videos that I've seen, and my measurements don't all work out perfectly, so only from this point of view here, everything fits together nicely. I don't mean it from there. Right, now for here, this is not quite 4.5 inches, which means I can't do 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 across. So what you need to do is, if you mark at 1.5 that way, and then mark 1.5 in from this side, and then do that on the other 3 sides. Okay, so you mark in 1.5. Where's the other one? Mark in 1.5. I'll point out the bit where I mean that it's my measurements don't work out quite the way I wanted them to. I surprised myself by being able to convert my measurements to metric. The one thing that stopped me from actually making one of these cards during the summer was they all seemed to be 6 by 6 inches, which I thought was too big. And I've taken mine down so that this is the largest base is 4 3/4. Right, now you've done that, I'm talking too much, aren't I? What you need to do is connect the dots. Now you're going to be covering this up, you don't need to erase your pencil marks, and then to do it crossways as well. There we go. So to get these attached, what needs to happen is for them to come up like that. So it needs to be glued like that, okay? So I'm going to keep this facing up. I need to flip that over because I need my glue there. Now, 2 things are going to happen. One is I'm going to position this in between those lines, and the other is I'm going to make sure that that will still bend over to go onto the other side. Now, where I say the measurements don't work out correctly, it's here. This will not line up right to those lines. I hope you can see there that there's a gap. Yes, you can. There's a gap between that line and the cardstock, that line and the cardstock. That's because this is 4 5/8 rather than 4.5 inches. We get that little difference there. But it doesn't matter, it's all as a guideline for you. And don't forget, make sure that that folds over nicely. Right, now you've done that one, move round to the next one. Now all of mine are the same, so it doesn't really matter which one goes where. But if you decide that you're going to do, maybe you've put somebody's name on it or something, which is definitely better done beforehand than after. So in that case you would need to pay attention to where you are putting them. Okay, so that's in place. This is where Tombow really does come into his own. Lovely. Got time to move that along. Slide it into place. Right, that's 2 down. I have to say, it does look, does somewhat feel like you're working with a 4-armed octopus. Okay, so there's another one there. As I say, just make sure that it's folding over nicely there. And then the last one. Oops, I've done that on the wrong side. Right, okay, not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do this on my silicone mat, put my glue on the right side, get myself in a bit of mess while I get this adhered on. We've got to put glue on that side anyway, but it's better to do it in the right order. Okay, what can I press that down with? This is my bone folder and I'll clean this later. Make sure that's all over. Right, okay. Now we need to put glue all over this to put our base sheet on there. But I find it really difficult putting glue on that and then turning this over and trying to keep these out of the way while I'm trying to line it up on there. So what I do, and this is why it's not such a great idea to get the glue on there first. So I'm putting this on my silicone sheet because I've had that little boo-boo. So what I do is I use our little binder clips, and what I do is I fold each one back and then I just put that right on the edge like that to hold it together. I don't want to go right the way down because I'm worried that it might leave a mark. I know it won't leave a mark like this, and then just flip those down out of the way. Right, so let's do the others. It does just make it a tad more easy, or a tad easier even. Next one. That's it. And then the last one. You'll still feel that you would like to have two pairs of hands, but this way is a lot easier. And that's why I like to fold down the sides. There we go. Right, now I am going to put Tombow all over. Oh no, don't do this. It just spluttered as if it was empty. I think that'll be fine. Right, now excuse me if I do get my head in the way here. This is probably the trickiest bit about this. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get hold of all the arms, and then I am lining up as best and as quickly as I can. Yes. Whoops, whoops, come on. Yes, 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 a bit of Tombow oozing out there. but I think I'm happy with that. It might not be as straight as it could be, but I'm sure that's going to be fine. Okay, so give that a good press down. Now this is the best time to do the decorating that you want to do in there, or put your sentiment in. When I've had a go at decorating those and doing the decorating inside, now that that's all closed up, I will let you know how I get on, but it will be on my blog where I report how I get on. There we go, so that's all done beautifully. Now what we need to do, and I've forgotten to get my little bits, haven't I? The other bits that you need are no great shakes, because I have my trimmer here, so I can cut these, and I need 2 pieces of lovely lipstick which measure 3 inches. Oops, no, I will do it sideways. 3 inches by 3/4 of an inch, which is 2 centimeters by 7.6. So will that do 3? Yep, let's cut that off first then. Right, okay. So we need it 3 inches long. And then we need 2 pieces that are 3/4 of an inch. So I'm using the 3/4 of an inch that's over on this side here. Not surprisingly, my fingers are rather sticky. Right, now 3/4 of an inch again. There we go. Right, so that's finished with. Unless I think of something else I've forgotten. Right, now what we need to do with this is we need to make a cross, and it's got to be a really good cross. So what I recommend we do, again with the ruler, is, she says, checking her notes. Right, okay. On both sides of this, from each side, you need to measure in at 1 1/8 inches. Which, sorry, that is 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so that's 1 1/8 and 1 1/8. Turn it around. One and 1/8. 1 1/8. Now, because my cardstock is a little bit on the dark side, I'm going to actually join those lines up. And join those 2 up as well. Can you see my lines now? I think you can, can't you? It's a bit dark for me from looking at my screen on my camcorder from here. Right, so this one as well, 1 1/8, 1 1/8, and then 1 1/8 from this side, and 1 1/8 from this side, and then join them up. There's a lot of dot joining with this project. That one. Right. Again, this is going to be covered up, so we don't need to expose it. In fact, this wasn't the bit that we needed to actually draw the lines, but never mind. As I say, it will be covered up. So I'm just going to put Tombow, if he's going to play ball, think I've overworked it today. Right, just going to pop that in there. Right, I'm using my grid paper now to make sure that these are straight. Right, so that the upright is definitely straight. And eyeballing that, that's not perfectly. That is now though. Right, happy. So, what did I do? I made this completely before I attached it on there. So the ribbon that I'm going to use, I was going to use this thin white one, but I think I'm going to try this one. Okay, I love this. I'm going to take a piece that's about 9 inches long. There we go. So that's ready, that's ready. Now the next problem, one of the other things that I can't do is, I mean really there's quite a few bits and pieces that I can't do, but one of them is I cannot use this punch and get a hole right in the circle there. I mean, come on, how hard can it be? So what I'm going to do, even this doesn't work all the time. I'm taking my 1¼ inch punch. This is just ordinary computer paper. Okay. The theory is brilliant. Right, so what I need to do is just fold that in half. Doesn't matter, it's got writing on there. And I just draw the, draw the pencil line there. Then I can fold that so the lines meet. Therefore, where they cross has got to be right in the centre. Okay, but I'll turn that over so okay, so that's right where the hole is. Now as I put that in there, you won't believe how off this is going to be. I can't really see it there. But what I do is once I've done my template, then I will take my circle and I'll put that back in there and I will punch the hole through that hole. Okay? Easy. I think I might have done it right, have I? That looks almost like spot on. Wow. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the white one here. In fact, I'm going to stick them both together before I do the white one. Oh yeah, I can see that's a bit off. I feel better now. Off to me is normal. Right, there we go. If I just give that a few seconds to dry. I also need to put a hole in the middle here. And again, all I'm going to do for this is use my bone folder, because it's a lot shorter than that ruler, and I'm going to draw across here. So that's corner to corner. So now I know the centre of my circle again. Right, let's see if we can get that punch right in the centre. I think it's okay. A bit off, but that's okay, not bad. So next we need to put our ribbon through. I'm folding that in half. Now this should go through nice and easily. Okay, if it doesn't, if you use your scoring tool and you just put your ribbon over the hole, I normally use the smaller ball and then I just give it a push, maybe another push, and then it will come through. Okay, so just make sure that you are still straight there. So what we need to do is to get this to stick down there, and then we're going to put a circle over it to cover it. So I don't want too much in here. So I'm going to carefully pull a bit out, because I can cut too much off, the excess off. Okay, so that's good. What I'm doing is I will put some snail this will just hold it, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. Right, I think the circle will cover all of that. So what do I do with Tombow? Right under my nose. Right. So I'm putting glue on top of the bow as well, but I'm staying within that centre piece where the two crossbars cross over each other. The circle will go a bit further, but this will be enough. Okay, and it's easier to see from the other side whether you're in the centre or not. Oh, but I got a bit of ribbon there. Never mind. The circles on top will cover that. Right, now I'm going to put the punch the circle in here. This is definitely way out. But not to worry, it's all going to stay way out. And then I'm going to put this through. And again, if you don't want to fight with it, just use your scoring tool. Oh, that's a big end. I think I'm trying to get two of those dots through at the same time. There we go. So that looks lovely. Pleased with that. Right, I think I will just put a little bit of glue down there to hold it. The only reason I'm doing that is because on one of them I was doing, as I was trying to get this whole unit into place, the top ring kept spinning and it did make life a bit more difficult for me. Okay, so there we go, there's that. Not right in the centre, as you can see. But I don't think anybody will notice that. I don't know what that is. Right, so let's bring this one back. So that needs to go like that. You need to know what you're trying to do now is to find out exactly where this is going to go. Right. That looks as if it's going to work. It's good news, isn't it? So let's take these off. Now this is the bit that I really did find most difficult, which is why I finished up making this complete unit before trying to put it all together. Right, so again, you feel that you want to have 2 pairs of hands. Now what I'm looking at is, do I think that the gap in there of the crossbar and there and there and on there is all about the same? And yes, it's close enough for me. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick all of these one at a time, and the important thing is I am not going to let this move. Don't mind if the arms go, but this is not going to go at all. I should have picked up Tombow first. Right, so to adhere this into place, excuse me, I'm just putting a little bit of Tombow on the top there, and then I'm lifting it up. I'm bringing this one down, and I'm laying it down. This is the top one, okay? No folds here. I'm going to put that in there. Hold it down just for a few minutes. I'm just going back in again to make sure I'm still happy with the position of it. But there we go. So hold the centre circle in place. So that one is going to stay there now. I'm going to do the second one. And then without letting that move, I'm going to lift this one up, bring this down. This is just one, this is a top flap, no folds or anything here. So put that down and then squash that one down. Then when you think Tombow's had enough, turn this around, put some glue, lift it up. Again, don't let the circle move. Just the top one. And now you can let the last one go. So you need to put some glue on there. Bring this over, so you've got the top one here, and then just press these down, and that goes on nice and easily. And honestly, that has been so much easier than the very first time I did it. There we go. So there's our card. Isn't it beautiful? I have to say I do prefer the smaller size. And if you wanted to write a greeting on this, if this isn't the right colour, in fact what I was doing the other day, which I found was a much better idea, and this was on the diamond fold card, what I did was I punched out a shape and then I wrote my greeting on it and then I glued it onto the back. Then that got away from worrying about trying to write with that on the other side. So my writing was as good as it ever is, which isn't particularly good, but you know, it was no worse certainly. So there we go. I hope you like this project. I really hope you give it a try. I do like to think that my way is easier than the videos I saw. There may be someone out there who's made it even easier than my one, but there are just so many videos out there really that you know, I watched several of them, but as I say, they were all the bigger ones. So if you want the 6x6, by all means check out the other videos. At least you've seen my way of doing it, which will apply to any. So anyway, many thanks for that. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. When I finished decorating these, I will put them onto my blog so that you can see. Whether I can get them done tonight while this is uploading onto YouTube or not, I don't know. I'll have a go, because then I can put it on my blog for tomorrow. So there we go. Anyway, if you have any questions or any comments you'd like to make, please leave them in the box below the video, which is the same place where you'll find all the measurements and the products that I've used. The products here, most of them, like the Designer Series paper, in fact only the Designer Series paper, won't be available until the 3rd of January, just after Christmas, when it's the start of celebration as well. But I will list the products, the Designer Series paper below, so that you know what to watch out for when it arrives. And also in the box below will be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop if you want to buy any of the other products now. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click the subscribe button and also click onto the bell, which means then you'll get an email notification. And I've also got my own Facebook group for crafters to go to share their their projects. So please think about coming over and joining me over there, because I do love seeing what you make, whether it's something to do with what I've done or totally unrelated. I still like to see what you've made, so please come over and share. The link to that will be in the box below, and that's JanB Happy Crafting. So there we go. Finally, before I go, one thing, I must show you this. Two more products, one more product, but two parts of it. We have some specialty Designer Series paper, and this only arrived a couple of days ago, and it has in it, it's called Floral Romance. I just want to show you these two sheets. It's a specialty because it's got, oops, that's gone very out of focus. This is vellum. It is just absolutely stunning. You just cannot see the beauty of this in the catalogue. There are two designs. You get 3 sheets in each, and there are 2 more designs of normal paper. That's one, and that's the other one. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? I just had to show you this. It's beautiful. You just don't see this in the catalogue. So there we go. I will go now and say thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy crafting. Cheerio.